You're being weird.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm live with Mama Tribe.
Is that your promo?
I started the new dance today.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Good morning, mamas.
Good morning.
Hey, it has been a crazy morning for us already, as I'm sure most moms can appreciate, and as their experience also getting ready in the morning is a little hectic, and especially if you have little nurslings who still want some mimis or some snuggles. So
There's a nursling right there. Yeah.
Who's trying to pull out my earphones?
Nice. Or if you are like us or just trying to figure out technology this morning as a mama, it can be frustrating.
yeah.
And look, we have Miss Francesca back on the show.
Yes, really quickly, we'll go through. We have Francesca with us. Hold on a second. My son is now calling my mother-in-law through FaceTime, and I just sorry, mother.
So I'll introduce Miss Tiffany Kyle. You see her lower third up there, a birth doula, and then we're also going to chat with her about the Badass Breastfeeder page that she started a long time ago now, and just about being a mama. And then Miss Francesca Orlando.
Good morning.
Good morning. And so you are our nutritional therapist helper. You're the one that keeps us in the know about all that. So we're leaning on you.
Getting everybody fed.
Yep. We're leaning on you about some meal planning, so hopefully we can get some suggestions from you about prepping and maybe some good healthy meals.
Yay! Because goodness knows I need help.
I know you've been feeding off toddlers' leftovers.
Exactly.
So we'll go ahead and start really quickly with last week's giveaway, which was a stay away because it didn't go anywhere. I forgot to pass out the link for the raffle copter. So I just want to get that out of the way. We're going to give that same package. I guess we're not giving it away again. We're just going to give it away because I didn't give it away to begin with.
Give it away now.
Okay, so it consists of a 2-pack of the Potty, which is the hands-free baby bottle, which I think are just really, really cool, especially for moms with multiples.
Oh, Potty, P-O-D-E-E. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want no potty in my baby's mouth.
Well, it's really great because you can put breast milk or anything in it, which is awesome. And then to accompany it, we have this great little cup holder from Munchkin. So you can put the pod into it if necessary. And then we have a little gift pack of essential oils from Rachel Adams Gonzalez because she did a demo on cleaning products. We have a bottle of Purify and a bottle of lemon essential oils from doTERRA. So I promise to try harder to get this Rafflecopter link out so we can actually give this away and get it out of my living room.
Somebody being silly and enjoying the milkies.
Yes.
That's the best sound ever.
I know. It's so cute, especially like when we have moms on the hangout and their little hand comes up and starts like stroking their face or taking the earbud out.
Yes, that's fun.
So
Right. So, and Jackson is, he's going to be 3 this year in December, right?
He is 29 months. He just turned 29 months.
Sweet.
Getting big.
Why do you make me do math, Tiffany? I know.
He's not 2.5 yet. I'm not ready to upsize him just yet.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a little over 2, but he's not at the 2.5 mark yet.
Perfect. Okay, so what do we want to chat a little bit about what's going on in Mama Tribe?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay. So we've had a lot going on. Erin and I have launched our Hangouts, our podcast style Hangouts. So I did a few now. I did a one on creating habits for new moms, and with Nancy Tunley, and then actually Francesca Orlando joined me this last one about talking about digestion.
Oh, yes.
And then Erin, talk about yours.
I'm really excited. Not that I'm not excited about the poop conversation we had, Francesca, just because I like to say shit.
And there we go again.
Hey, any opportunity I have to swear, I will take. Okay.
I have learned that. Yes. I thank you though for for those who didn't see the digestion part. Now you know what it was like.
We had some shitty talk. That was it.
Now you know why my assistant was writing that.
Francesca,
Yes.
everything eventually turns to shit.
Hey, I love food just like the next girl, you know, just like the next girl nutritionist will. What's up, buddy? You have your milk. Look at you. You're all happy and I'm drunk.
He's drunk.
He's drunk on milk.
The other night, I was really stoked to have a couple really impressive experts to talk about moms and the consumption of marijuana during pregnancy and breastfeeding. And the physiological ramifications, potential ramifications about it, so that moms can make an educated choice, make an educated decision, because it's really hard for moms to talk about that without fear of repercussions. So I'm really stoked about that. And the next one is vaccines that I'm going to be doing. So I'm excited about that. Talk about the benefits and the dangers of vaccines. So
that one is gonna be really awesome.
The what? I didn't hear the last part.
Vaccines, the benefits and dangers.
Okay, I did. Okay, I thought there was something else you said.
So that's going to be really good, I think.
Please don't throw that. Thank you.
Hey Tiff, I'm just gonna mute you, or you can mute yourself. Until
Sorry.
Even though even though you have the earbuds, it takes the noise in, but we can still hear Mr. Jackson. So yeah, that one's going to be awesome because we have already met with the expert and Dr. Goshensky, and even though I know some people are a little nervous that we've told that we're going to do this, but even though he is pro-vaccination, he is also pro-education of the hazards of vaccines. So, like this bill that's trying to be passed, how they want it just across the board. This is going to give further information why that should not be happening. So I know all of us are happy about that, and then we can hopefully educate the rest of the people out there that understand why it shouldn't be across the board. So it'll be fun.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's important information that people need to know. Pro-vaxxers, anti-vaxxers, they need to know that this bill will benefit one company and one only, which will not be, we as a public won't be able to sue in case there is, damage caused by vaccine. So, one company only manufacturing 200 vaccines, different vaccines a year will be, having the right. They will sell so many millions of dollars in crap to people if the bill is passed. And my son will be forced to have the human papillomavirus vaccine.
It's just such a
That
hard
is just
topic.
disgusting. You can be pro-vaccination or anti-vaccination, but you need to be able to make an informed decision. And there's
Absolutely.
no way we're vaccinating our boys for cervical cancer
Yeah.
vaccine.
Yeah, it's just, and that's why I'm really looking forward to this topic, because it will give people the opportunity to look at things hopefully from both perspectives and understand that anti-vax really isn't necessarily about the vaccination as it is so much in the choice.
Yeah, yeah, I really like that Dr. Robert Sears actually has been speaking up a lot about the topic, because he has a wonderful delayed vaccine schedule for those who choose to vaccinate and they decide that they do not want to have 16 vaccines before the age of 6. There's a wonderful schedule done by Dr. Sears, and I think it's important that people of his caliber, and he wrote 50 books on child rearing, attachment parenting, baby wearing, and all that. I think it's good that he took a stance that was against mainstream.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people look up to him, and a lot of people do the delayed vaccines, and it's okay. That's for another time.
Have any of you watched the Robert Kennedy Jr. speech?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, constitutional rights. So
Yeah.
if I can refuse a blood transfusion because of my religion, why shouldn't I be able to refuse aborted fetal matter or animal tissues?
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people, it's just the amount too, because I've had this fight with my friend in Europe. But when I explained to him how many vaccines are being administered,
I have the stats because my mom does actually charity work, and she's one of those people who works for a charity work for vaccinating children in the developing countries. So she's a strong believer of vaccines, and we've had several very good talks about it. And I was like, I am not against. I don't want to say I'm against vaccine or I'm against 64 shots before the age of 6.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm sorry, how many? Because I think they have 23 or 24 in Italy. And she was like, why? Why all these shots? And I'm like, well, if you do the math,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of profit. And, babies are not going to do drugs in the next door crib, so they don't need a hepatitis B shot. You can test the mother. If it's prophylactic, you test the mother. And if the mother is infected or a carrier, then you can decide to do whatever you want, but it's not just in case they go do drugs,
So I gather that you will be on our panel of mothers.
I know. This is going to be a good show.
Yes.
Okay.
Good show.
Let's say that.
Thank you. I want to talk to Tiffany. I really do. I want to talk to Tiffany about not only her work as a doula, but really about her work as a breastfeeding champion. And
Wow.
You laugh, but it's true. You stand up for our rights to breastfeed, and you really stand up for supporting mothers and supporting each other in a very positive and judgment-free fashion. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows how great you are in that.
Oh, thank you.
And that this Facebook group that you've created, can you tell us a little bit about that and why you chose to create it?
Yeah. Basically, did you get it, Allie? Sorry. Okay. Can you play with your cards? Sorry. Basically, when I was pregnant, I had come across. You know what? My son has decided he needs a diaper change this moment.
Okay, so we will switch.
Yes, if you'll switch for a moment, I'll be right back.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump over to Francesca and talk about meal planning.
Yes.
Because I know that for me, and I'm sure that I'm indicative of, it's out of batteries, kid. that we have such a hard time actually juggling kids, work, all of that stuff, and then getting good food in our bodies. So I'm hoping you can help at least me, and by proxy a lot of other moms, kind of figure this out instead of this defensive dining, which is just eating in order to satiate the hunger and to get through. And
no, you need to nourish.
yeah, so let's talk about how do we start meal planning? It seems so daunting to me. How do we start?
Well, so let me know if anything needs explanations or if you have more questions, because this is something that is second nature to me, not just because of the work that I do, but it's just the way I was raised. What a lot of people find helpful, especially people who are struggling with getting organized, is to sit down during the weekend with their families, with their children, with their spouses, and choose a few key recipes that they will cook either during the weekend or during the week. So the way we used to do it was get a super cool recipe book, and everybody would pick a new recipe so that you're not stuck in a rut. Because one of the things with me specifically, I get bored, and I don't want to eat the same thing over and over. But if I vary recipes weekly, then I'm happy eating the same meal for 2-3 meals in a row. Okay, so it was that you would sit down at the table, you'd open whatever cookbook you had handy, and then everybody would pick their own recipe. In the era of the internet, you can pop up a nice food blog or a night website, and then have the kids choose. Somebody chooses a breakfast, and somebody chooses a dinner, and you start writing down what you need. Right. The best thing is to prep and plan. So you really want to go to the store on a day in which you don't have many chores to do or you don't have work to do. Usually the weekend works well unless you're a shift worker and then you work weekends. And so that, especially for family with children, that your spouse can be home, watch the kids. You have a toddler-free experience at the grocery store, which is actually rejuvenating, believe it or not.
That's revolutionary. Okay, that's
exactly.
The idea that we go to the grocery store alone is insane. But okay, I'm going to try.
But if your husband is home, then he pulls his chairs, he watches the kids, and you go to the store. Otherwise, you wrap them in a nice bag carry. You don't let them loose in the store. You don't let them in the cart where they can reach stuff, and off we go. Okay, but anyway, what I like to do is I come home from the grocery store. If I can afford, most times I will buy things that's already been washed and chopped and prepped. Because I have very little time on my hands, and my husband travels a lot, and I've been home now alone with my 1-year-old for 2 weeks, and it's really hard to do anything. So I have been able and fortunate to buy things that were organic, and they were pre-washed, and they were pre-cut, and then I just put my steamer up with the water in, and then I'll steam my veggies. Okay, there's a lot of time that I'm saving there. If not, when you do your groceries, you come home and you want to really wash, clean, dry, and then store. And then for the week, when you come home and you have 20 seconds to prep dinner, then you have it all ready. Okay. Another thing that I do during the weekend, and I recommend that my clients do, is prep a big pot of protein. So I will either roast 2 chickens so that I have then a nice roasted chicken for dinner, and then I will have chicken meat to do chicken soup. I will have, Erin's child locked himself in the bathroom. So I'm going to move on as if I didn't read that, and then you let me know if we need to call 911 or something, okay? So, roasting chickens.
This happens regularly, just so you know.
I think somebody posted on our Facebook group the other day. I can't remember who it was, and they didn't have a phone with them. And,
it was Brianna. Her daughter got stuck.
There you go. Okay, so one of my favorite things to eat on Sunday night is roasted chicken with roasted vegetables. Usually it's some root veggies, rutabaga, and carrots and beets, or some nice fingerling potatoes, and then we'll have a side salad because we always try to eat a cooked veggies and a raw veggies for enzyme availability. So we'll eat half a chicken in two and a half of us, and then we have a chicken and a half left over for the week. I usually take the meat off the bones, and I will throw those bones in a pot, and I will make stock out of it. Okay, we try not to throw anything away. I will put veggie peels, I will put carrot tops, I will put beet tops, and I'll make a nice pot of stock, usually chicken, that then I can use to make chicken noodle soup without the noodles because we're paleo, but you know we use zucchini noodle. I boiled down the stock to make sort of like a bouillon to flavor vegetables to get those nice nutrients in us and the baby without having to drink pots of stocks all day long. And then I have chicken meat for tacos, you know, chicken meat to make my mason jar salads and stuff like that. Another thing that I do on the weekends is I hard boil 12, 24 eggs. It depends on how hungry we are and what my schedule looks like. Because a lot of time, a nice lunch for me at work, and I apologize to our ex-assistant, Tess, her shipping desk was right by my office, and she would complain that I would eat sardines at lunch. When I was pregnant, I craved sardines all day long. So my favorite lunch was 2 hard-boiled eggs chopped up with a half an avocado and a can of sardines.
Whoa.
DHA, EPA, omega-3, smart baby. Okay, so when my days are crazy, 2 hard-boiled eggs and a little bit of veggie sticks are a nice lunch or a nice snack with me for me. Another thing that I do, and I'm not trying to sound superhuman, but it's cheaper to do it that way, is I make jerky. I do buy them sometimes, but they're pretty expensive, especially if you look for things that have no MSG, no corn syrup, no sugar, and they are, you know, coming from grass-fed animals. So I'll make jerky, and it's so easy to do. You just slice the meat, you marinate it, and then you throw it in the dehydrator. What else do I do? So I love pork. I could never be vegetarian. I was vegetarian for 2 months, and then the prosciutto called me, and I had to go back to eating meat. But I love pork, and so one of my favorite things to do is to make a pork butt in the crock pot, and you know it's usually a 4 or 5 pound of meat, and then I have carnitas for the week. You know, usually I assemble my lunches when I work. Breakfasts are usually either eggs and pork belly or yogurt and berries or leftovers. And then we have a homemade dinner every night. Okay, my husband loves to cook. I love to cook, so we take turns and we make a dinner from scratch every night, and then we eat prepare meals for lunch. But you can do a lot of people eat cafeteria at lunch as long as you know what you're eating, and then you can have dinner prepped for the week. Another thing that I do is I make egg muffins. So it's just like little frittatas or little scrambled eggs in muffin tins. So they're pre-portioned, and usually I make 2 each for the week. So I'll make about 20, and then, you know, usually during the weekend we'll either have brunch or we'll go out with friends. And I vary what's in it because I don't want to eat the same egg muffin every day. So I'll make some with, I don't know, bell peppers and onions is a favorite. Some with sausage and mushrooms is another favorite.
And do you just
goat cheese.
Do you throw them in the toaster oven to reheat them? To
warm them up, yes. So what I do, I'll have cooked all the veggies that I want to use. A lot of time I'll just throw those are leftover egg muffins, because I'll see what veggies I have cooked. If I have some bacon slices that are left over, if I have breakfast sausage left over, and I'll chop it all up and I'll put it in there. I do warm them up in the toaster oven. We do not own a microwave because it alters the molecular structure of the food. It's bad, and it's, you know, also environmental, like electromagnetic pollutants. So we don't have one. We've never had one in the house. But some people, it's
I don't
better
either.
to have a microwave and eat an egg muffin than go into McDonald's and do a drive-through. So you have to balance it out. A lot of people have it at work, so it's fine. I am fine eating the egg muffins cold, but if you like it warm, put it in the toaster oven.
Cool.
I wrote some notes. Chia pudding is another favorite of mine.
Yum.
So with coconut milk, I either make my own, which is super easy. You just boil a cup of shredded unsweetened coconut with a cup of water, and then you put it in your high-speed blender. I have a Vitamix, and then you sift it through a cheesecloth, and you can have nice fresh coconut, well, not fresh, but nice coconut milk that has no guam gar, locust bean. It doesn't sit in a BBA lined can, but if you need to buy canned, I do the native forest, because it's a BPA free lining and it's organic. And you don't want to buy the light coconut milk, you want to buy the full fat. And then if it's too thick for you, you can lighten it yourself with water. Because why would you want to pay more for something that is just the regular stuff with water? Just make it yourself, and then you'll stretch your budget too. So I make those, and that's usually a can of coconut milk in the blender with, I like to put 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and then I'll put the chia seeds. You can put some stevia. If you don't have blood sugar handling issues, you could put some organic maple syrup or some honey. You whip it in the blender for 10 seconds, and then I portion it in tiny little mason jars. And that's nice as a snack. It's a nice breakfast with fruit. Another thing that I used to do a lot, I don't do oats anymore, but it was, and it's something that's me. You totally can have it. You can do no cooking oatmeal. So it's overnight oatmeal. You take a nice mason jar, you put a 1/4 cup of rolled oats, old-fashioned, and then you top it off with either milk or whole milk yogurt. You can put some nuts in there, shake the can, and then you leave it in the fridge overnight, and you'll have a nice oatmeal in the morning, and you can add fresh blueberries, whatever topping you like. Some people put chia seeds in it, whatever you want. So those are, egg muffin, chia pudding, no-cook oatmeal. Those are nice, nourishing breakfast to start the day with. You definitely don't want to put a bagel in the toaster oven and drink a glass of orange juice and send the kids to school.
Hey,
Okay?
Francesca,
It's too much
so
sugar.
can we,
Yes.
we'll make those notes.
Naked boy.
We weren't on the big screen yet.
Thankfully, honestly, we'll make those notes available, so that on the show notes, we'll have those for the breakfast.
Oh, yeah. It's not, look, it's just an itemized list of stuff that I make. I had to write it down because mommy brain, teething baby, no sleep equals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that's.
Yeah. But yeah, totally. Anything else?
So I think that's a good start. I really think that's a good start. So basically, it really involves planning and choosing your battles. To make
Honestly, you need to have some appliances, because having a good equipped kitchen is going to cut your cooking times in by a bunch. So I have a steamer, and I steam a bunch of veggies at the beginning of the week, or I blanch them. But okay, she's speaking another language now because she's blanching. But I steam it, and then I portion it in Ziploc bags, and then when it's time to eat, I'll chop up some garlic. I don't mind seeing this, but I'll chop up some garlic and I'll stir fry them real quick. Okay. And the other thing that you really need to invest, it's in a crock pot, because you can make 4 or 5, 6 pounds of meat, and you have to do nothing. You put the meat, you put the, whatever, carrot, onion. Some people like more moist. You put canned tomatoes, or you can put some broth. You turn it on for 8 hours, and you walk away. There's no chopping of the meat. There's no washing. There's no browning. There's no nothing. You can make a very nice roasted chicken in a crock pot, you know, because a lot of people are like, oh, I can't make roasted chicken because I cannot leave the oven on and go to work. Nobody asks you that. You throw it in the crock pot, it'll roast it for you. You know, it's an
And
electric appliance, so you're not setting anything on fire.
the recipe that I have for the roasted chicken is so awesome. It's like an onion on the bottom, and then just the chicken, and then of course you can do whatever spices that you want. But it makes like this gorgeous juice that's like pretty much all fat, and then you just like pour it over the top.
Oh,
Oh,
that's good for you. And then you make some, you know, mashed cauliflower or mashed potatoes if you do starches, and you know you got au jus
mm-hmm.
to go with
Yep,
that. Yeah, and that's
yummy.
a nourishing dinner. You know,
Yeah.
we just don't want to. It's not just a matter of feeding and getting calories in. It's a matter of sitting down and having conversation. And how was your day? And what did you learn today from
Yeah.
talking to our partner and children and stuff like that.
And that's really important. And
Also,
if you want to know why, then you should watch the hangout we did recently about digestion, and we talk all about why
exactly. We
that's
talked
important.
about being in a parasympathetic state. Another thing that I have a lots of clients with children, another thing that they say is my child won't let me cook. I think that once the child is standing up and walking and understand most words, my 1-year-old understands many, many words and things, then you have the kids help you. So the little ones, that's, and we are a Montessori home, but you can get a learning tower,
Mm-hmm.
or you can make a IKEA Hackers Learning Tower. You can Google that. And you can have the baby at the counter with you. Because, my child, if I'm cooking, he wants up. But he doesn't want up to be my arms. He wants up to do what I do and be with me. So a learning tower, and what we do is he has a little rug, a little cloth, and I give him a carrot, and I'm like, okay, you clean the carrot for me, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yep.
one. And of course, the more the older they are, the more things they can do. They can stir. They get to an age in which they can chop.
Yep.
So it's not about you against your kids, and you cannot cook because your kids are nagging you or getting in the way. It's about doing things together as a family. So, buddy, you help me out, and let's do this. Let's wash this chicken. Let's pat dry. We need to remember there are little people in a big world.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that they want up and on you and prevent you from doing things. They want to be doing things with you, and a lot of times our houses built for adults. They're
Yeah.
not built for little children. So equipment that helps integrate them, like a learning tower, it's an awesome tool that will allow you to cook, them to learn, and just have that bonding time.
We just had Jean Marie come to the Lindsay School to talk about Montessori, and she gave some really awesome. I mean, anybody can look at that hangout too. It's
So
on our
she's talking
video.
about Jean-Marie Painel of Voila Montessori.
Yep.
Yeah, so voilamontessori.com, and she has a wonderful blog on Facebook, and she's still our teacher. And yeah, they're
Yep.
people,
Yep. Yeah.
children, they're little people. Let's not treat them like they are not capable. Let's not pop a video so that you can cook. Let's
Right.
do it together. Let's do it together. And a lot of
Yeah.
time I'll just, give him little cards and a little
Advice,
bit of
Francesca.
water and ice to play.
You've got great advice, and I think that you've given us so much to get us at least start to kind of think about it and figure out how we might be able to incorporate some of those ideas into our daily life.
And you don't have to do it all. Here's
No.
the thing. I have people who come to me and they do drive-through twice a day. I tell them just implement one step a week
There you
and
go.
build one habit on top of another. So this Sunday, maybe you make egg muffins and you
Yeah.
have breakfast for the week. And then in a week or in 2 weeks, you start making egg muffins and roasting a chicken.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that it doesn't feel daunting and it doesn't feel overwhelming. You just pick one thing. Of course, we do one hangout, so I'm trying to give away as much information as I have, but that doesn't mean that we have to do it perfect. It's about finding a good balance for you and get your family started with good habits so that you are setting the example for your children, feeding them better, and then one new thing at a time. It takes 21 days to build a new habit. So even just implementing 2 things a month,
Yeah.
it would be great. It would be such an improvement for most.
Well, and this is your work, right? So mamas come to you and say, like, what I need help. And so, if you guys want further information and time together with Miss Francesca, which would be lovely, then definitely, contact her, because this is her work. She's here to help. Yep.
Can help you.
Yeah. All right.
Supporting each other. So thank you. And I think now we're going to go ahead and switch back to Tiffany.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, gosh. Don't even be sorry.
He is now contented with his choo-choo, so hopefully I've got a few minutes.
So you were going to tell us about your Facebook group and how and why you chose to start it and what it means to you.
Yes. Well, initially, the idea started when I was pregnant and, researching everything and researching parenting and breastfeeding, but, all of that. And I had come across a blog written by the original badass breastfeeder, Abby, about establishing your mama tribe. And it just really resonated with me. And we were, at the time I was pregnant in Illinois, but we were going to be stationed back in San Diego. So I was starting to online through Facebook, starting to meet people and just kind of trying to make those connections. And there wasn't a badass group locally. There was like a national worldwide group, but the whole point, if anybody hasn't read the blog, is basically to establish your tribe. And your tribe are the women that you can go to ask questions, to get support when you're having a bad day, who are going to watch your kids, who your kids are going to grow up together. And be friends. So there wasn't a group in San Diego yet. So I decided, there was actually 2 of my girlfriends that we had met through Facebook, my friend Ashley and my friend Hannah, who were already in San Diego. The 3 of us kind of talked about, we all agreed that a group needed to be started, but they weren't taking the lead. And when I finally got into San Diego, when my son was just a couple of months old, I was like, okay, if you guys aren't doing it, I'm going to do it, because we need to make this happen. And so I did. And, so it started, my intention was for it to be a small, close-knit group of women that were going to support one another, get together for play dates, all of those things. And apparently there was a greater need than I realized for that same connection, and it just blew up. I mean, it's just over 2 years old, and we have, I think, like 2,100 members. I mean, something like that. It's pretty phenomenal and amazing, and it's been a very humbling and overwhelming experience. We try and keep it a very respectful place. It's definitely evolved. I mean, our primary focus is breastfeeding support. But, when you are making those connections with women, you're going to ask them all kinds of questions about parenting. Your kid has a rash in the middle of the night and you're freaking out. You go to the women that you know and trust and you ask questions. So it's definitely, a gentle parenting support place. I mean, gosh, people ask all kinds of random questions.
Didn't you guys start an OT board, an off-topic board?
There was. I'm personally not a part of it. I couldn't commit to administrating another group. So I let some other people kind of take the lead. That has happened more recently. I'm not personally a part of that group. I just had too much on my plate. So, but yes, there is an off-topic group. But I don't know. I guess my feeling kind of is I don't like censorship. I want people, as long as everybody is being respectful and kind and people are getting ultimately the help that they need, I don't have a problem with whatever people want to talk about. So, I mean, we've had some pretty random conversations, and like I said, I'm totally fine with that. I just want to make sure if my kind of goal is I go through and I make sure that people are getting their questions answered, especially when it comes to breastfeeding. And as long as that continues to happen, I'm fine with the group kind of, being a little on the looser side. sometimes we have to rein it in a little and go, okay, that's like has nothing to do with parenting. Can we move that elsewhere? Like zero, nothing. So, but other than that, and it's, it's really been such an amazing experience. And, there's with any group like that has grown so much, there's going to be growing pains, and we've definitely experienced some of those. But I think for the most part, it's just a really supportive place, and we have some amazing professionals that are there that poke in from time to time and offer their advice for free, which I admire those women so much for doing that, in addition to the peer-to-peer support, which is huge. I mean, gosh, just in the a little over 2 years I've been breastfeeding and being a part of this group, I've learned so much. I mean, my breastfeeding journey was pretty simple, all things considered, especially when I talk to other women who have had very challenging roads. I feel very blessed that I didn't experience the vast majority of those challenges, but I have learned so much through those women and them sharing their experiences. So it's been really fun.
I can tell you that I myself am very pleased that you started the group, because that was one of the first online support groups that I found. And I was one of those women that had a very challenging start. So I actually found your group when sailing had started to go smoothly. So I like being able to chime in and help moms who are experiencing some of the stuff that I went through. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think one of the cool things about your group, too, is that, unfortunately, there's a problem with breastfeeding in public. And so, when you have a breastfeeding, somebody that's a group that's, cheering on these mamas, then you have a lot of support when you get someone who is out in public and gets harassed, too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's, like you said, it's a broad horizon of what the group covers, but when it's breastfeeding related, I mean, you just have so much support. It's like crazy.
Absolutely. And so many women, I mean, again, I've been so lucky. I've had such a supportive family and friends, but a lot of women don't have that, and so this group is really where they get that support. And I mean, gosh, we all know if you've breastfed for, a day, that it can be really challenging at certain points. And if you don't have at least one place that can offer you some support, it's really easy to just throw in the towel. I mean, gosh, we're bombarded with formulas just as good anyways, so just here, use this, it's so much easier. And so it's really easy to just go, you know what, yeah, that's easier, I'm just going to do that. And when you have a group of women who are so supportive and are ready at a moment's notice to be your cheerleader and say, hey, I've been there, and sometimes it's a matter of, there's something that needs to be fixed, and sometimes it's just a bad day when your child wants to be attached 24/7, and that's draining.
And you started a actual breastfeeding support group too with Kat, right? Okay.
Yes, with Kat Python-Burling. She and I have started an in-person support group that we do every other week in La Mesa. We're still building it, so it's very tiny right now. So there's been a couple. I was the only person there at one point. So we're definitely trying to get the word out there.
Tiffany, we could always host a breastfeeding support Google Hangout.
Oh, maybe. We'd have to make sure that the mamas are on board with that.
Well, I thought it had been done before.
Sorry?
I thought it had been done. Google Hangout nursing sit-in was no?
Oh, no, I'm saying the support group.
You know what? Honestly, it's actually not a bad idea. When your squish is so little and you're terrified of leaving the house, there's a lot of women with postpartum depression who have anxiety over getting in the car. I think
true.
It would actually and
these hangouts don't have to be live either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, these hangouts can be private, and you can record the private hangout.
Like a webinar thingy.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to go on YouTube. Or I mean, it could be on a secret channel.
Yeah.
private. Right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
Boobies.
Well,
And I
you
remember
let
honestly
Mama Track know if we can help you.
yeah, I
Yes.
remember going to breastfeeding support group and women crying and it was very anxiety producing. You're already struggling so much that some groups are just not the right groups, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
No,
because you're not getting support, but because there's so much anxiety and so much uh so
Pressure.
many issues of self-worth and I cannot feed my baby, that means I'm not good enough, and other
right.
women feel like that
Yeah.
there's a lot of pressure.
And
And
so
so
There is
just
a
do
lot of
it
pressure.
all right, and there's a lot of inclusive breastfeeding if you just get. The thing is that there's not enough information about chronically low milk supply due to hypothyroidism and anemia and blood loss during pregnancy. And so um, even a lot of lactation consultants don't, all they look is for lip and tie and tongue tie, and then all of the other hormonal component of low milk supply is unknown to many of them. And so you kind of start to believe as a woman that your body's failing you, that your body's broken, and and then there's the pressure of the scale. I think that those weight feeds are very good for some women, but for some other women, doing a weight feed is horrible. A lot of time you just need to weigh your baby every other day and see if they're gaining weight or not, because as us grown-ups, not people, I don't need the same amount of food at the same
Right.
at every meal. Sometimes I'll
Right.
snack and I'll eat more. It's the same thing with babies, especially when they're on the breast all day long. You can't do a
Right.
weight feed and expect for him to have transferred 4 ounces if he just ate an hour ago. And so I think that there's so much that's left to interpretation, that maybe having a recurrent online
Yeah.
presence like the group that you have, and maybe doing it on a live
Yeah.
basis and show
And
wise, so
We'll
that
have
you
to
can
we'll have to
actually see
explore
and
that
stuff.
idea more to
yeah.
off camera, because I
Yeah.
think it's something that would be very helpful. Because I know that like the flip side of support was there were times where I was sick and tired of people telling me that I could do it. I was sick and tired of people telling me that to muster through it and that everything was going to be okay. I was just like, you know what? F you.
Yeah.
I just need to be left alone right now and cry. So
Sometimes you just need to vent, and that's okay too. It's okay to say, "Hey, today sucks. Maybe tomorrow will be better, whatever, but right now it just sucks, and I need to just be, validated in this moment."
right, all you need to hear is someone say, "Shit, it sucks. I'm sorry. I hope it gets better, but this really
Yes.
sucks right now."
Well,
Yes.
but
I think that's what all of our support groups have been awesome with is, online, in person. I mean, you feel normal after you let these people know how you're feeling.
yeah, we live in a culture that does not accept struggle and feelings much. So we always try to calm those feelings down and say, I had a 54-hour labor, and things did not go as I planned. I still got to have a vaginal birth, but it wasn't, what I planned. And you're left with those feelings, and people look at you, oh, but you have a beautiful baby.
Right.
Yeah.
What? F you.
Yeah.
I need to be validated.
Yes.
I need to be able to feel the way I feel, and
Right.
then move past my feelings at my own terms and my own time. Okay? And
Absolutely.
that's the issue with our culture, is that we don't want to see people
Upset.
suffering, so we minimize their
Yeah.
feelings. And I know that a lot of people actually mean well, but it's
Yeah.
the fact that you are uncomfortable with me crying, it's your problem, not mine. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and it's the same thing about breastfeeding. Oh, give them formula because my mom gave me formula, and look at me, I turned
Right.
out just fine. And I'm like, well, you know
How do you describe just
Sure.
fine?
that's okay if you feel the need of saying that, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It's Yeah.
OG, I think we're bringing Francesca to the other side. She just said F you.
I
Yeah, I take threats sometimes myself. So.
So,
know.
Tiffany,
Gone
if
very
people,
long today.
what's that?
We have gone very long today.
I know, that's why I'm trying to wrap up because I want people to know, though, if people want to contact Tiffany about the support group in La Mesa, how can people look you up on Facebook?
They can either message me through the they can post on the Badass Breastfeeder page,
Okay.
or I usually create the events through my doula page, so Tiffany Kyle Birth Doula. So they can always look there or message me through there as well.
Awesome.
Perfect.
So
And
Tiffany
just
Kyle.
to clarify again, the Facebook group is Badass Breastfeeders of San Diego.
Yes.
So definitely check that out. And
Yeah.
Francesca, your website is, remind me, I get
Healthful Living. San
SD.com.
Diego. Yeah.
SD. Yeah, healthfullivingsd.com.
awesome. And we're going to post those links on the show notes also. And hopefully we'll get that the bullet points from Francesca so we can put those on also.
Yeah, they're on Google Drive. I'll just share it with you now.
Awesome. And thank you so much, ladies.
Yeah, well, and before we go, Erin, let's just promote that, we've got the midwives, Mama Midwives, what the hell is it called?
Midwives, Mamas and More.
Yes, Midwives, Mamas and More Festival this coming Saturday. A lot of people are going. Mama Tribe is going to be there. We're not going to have a booth, but we're going to be hanging out and checking everybody out.
Baby Wearing International of San Diego will be there, and we do have a booth. I will be there, so come say hi.
Oh, yeah. We will definitely stop by and say hi. And this is going to be at the Waterfront Park downtown.
Yes.
So I know, OG, I'm picking you up downtown, but maybe we should take the trolley. That's what I heard.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, because as far as parking, just to help you all out there.
Yeah, so we're saving you a spot.
Yeah. Cool. And then Live with Mama Tribe next week is going to be a sneak peek on my podcast style Google Hangout, All Things Crunchy. We're going to talk about parenting and raising our kids who love superheroes. So that'll be happening in May. On the 22nd of May is the actual hangout. But next week we're going to talk about it on live.
Yeah, and I like to call it Raising Superheroes, not Villains.
Yeah, I like that. And then, of course, OG, we talked about, the immunization hangout Mama Talks is going to do, and that'll be on May 15th.
Correct. Friday night after dark.
After dark, baby. So, cool.
Yeah. Thank you, mamas.
Bye, ladies.
Don't
Bye.
put some Kahlua in your coffee.
I haven't even had my coffee yet.
No,
No.
not okay. Not okay.
Thank you for joining us without coffee, Mama. Okay, ladies.
Have a great rest of your day. I'll send the Google Drive document now.
Okay, well, don't
Okay.
make that
It's just a bulleted point list. You feel free to modify it as needed.
Awesome. I'm going to stop the broadcast, but we can all stay on and finish up. And thank you guys for watching. And you guys I'll send you guys the link so you can share it, and anybody can watch after the show is live too.
Yay! Bye, bitches!
Okay.
Bye.